Hey, hi, how are you? For today, just call me Jay. It's cold as shit. Hopefully, it's not too cold where you are. I'm so confused right now with just everything, right down to like my bare bones. Like, I feel so cold whenever I just like clasp my tips of my fingers together. It's like, it's cold and I can feel it. People are just, I don't even know. I don't know right now. So much has happened, and I've been trying to take a mental break. And hey, thankfully, I've came back to where I've started doing these commentary style videos. But it's like I'm tired, man. My mental, my everything is just. It doesn't even feel like I'm here, really. It's like it's something. I genuinely do hope that you had a good day, night, whatever it is, you know. Should. For starters, let's see. I started talking back to my ex, and things were going really, really good. Then, out of nowhere, her power turned out, and her mom pretty much took up all of her stuff and made her block me on everything. The only extent that I get is that, yes, back then, way those couple of months ago, I said some awful things. Well, not too awful, because they were brutal and honest about where their life and stuff was going. Is too much personal details for me to tell you why, but I was telling them the truth about something, and sure, they learned, but they didn't receive it that well. Maybe I could have put it in a different way, but the mom hates me, even though she's a massive hypocrite and some other stuff as well, and she also crossed the line with me. But other than that, I forgive her. I understand where she's coming from, what she's doing, and all of that other stuff, so. And then my friends, my wonderful friends, I love them. Some of them are great, and then those are the great and wonderful ones. And then there's a few that are just. Some of them I've had to go through in such a way where it's just like either they disbanded from me or whatever. And it's like, eventually, here's the weird thing about it. Eventually, I meant to break off from them myself, but because I don't heed them enough attention or whatever, or I see that they are nuisances or just they're not really good for, as selfish as it sounds, for me in my life right now. I had the hope. I had reached out for a chance that they would change over time, and some never did. Some rarely do. And then some just, in an ironic, cruel, and twist of fate, they get rid of me because they're not getting exactly what they want and more. And I'm just like, you know what? Good riddance. If I get to look like the bad guy or whatever the hell you view me as, yeah, I truly don't give a shit. Sure, it sucks that you're gone because I was holding out hope that maybe you would change, and you've expected me to change to do X, Y, and Z, and I didn't. Wow. It's weird. The parallels of being 22 is just everyone expects you to have or start doing something by now, and the years go by fast. The fact that I'm 22 now is wow. I definitely feel older. I feel more refined. I feel like a nice thing of wine, kind of, but still in within like the aging process before we get to the fine wine part. I'm tired of people telling me to man up, to do this, that, and the other third that they can't do for themselves. And it's slightly annoying. But I do understand too that, yes, in some ways, some aspects, I do need to grow up a hell of a lot. But they're saying that from the perspective of, why don't you have your own house? Why don't you have your own car? So many of these other things that are somewhat out of my control. I mean, Jesus, and a car nowadays would cost you an arm and a leg. And sure, my resume is decent, granted, but the job market is a little bit iffy. And yes, I have an interview this Tuesday, so yay. It's gonna be for like, it's just an interview somewhere nicer than where I'm currently working, so yay. I've been trying to figure out a plan because the ones that I've always had just they never go to plan, so it's like, why not wing it, you know? But the plan that I did have before I started winging it is listen to the people. Try to do something to make people feel nice, positive. Something somewhere that everyone can be able to come to and we can all have a nice gathering time. Just forget about the troubles in the world for whatever set amount of period of time we're all there. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a rebel sometimes because I'm tired of people telling me what to do, what I can't do, and a multitude of other stuff that, because yes, they're smart and they know better, but I also feel like not a lot of people, I can acknowledge that a lot of people haven't done it for themselves, or they haven't done it themselves, so it's like, why would you go and do something like this, you know? I mean, I have no children, no one, no nothing tying me down, so that's why I'm going out and gambling, taking all these risks until something hits. That's basically YouTube, in a nutshell. I do these videos because it's catharsis for myself, and it hopefully resonates with other people. Hopefully. Well, I guess we're gonna do the thing where if you like this video, nah, I'm not going to. If you want to, you already know what you would like to do with this video, and thank you for sticking by this far. But pretty much every video that you do is a gamble, you know? One might pay off really well, one might not. You just keep going till you hit something. And yes, it is insanity, which is doing the same thing over and over, expecting results. But honestly, never giving up with things has been the best thing for me. Yes, I will admit sometimes I really did need to let go, but seeing it through all the way until the end is just both a beautiful nightmare. It's just a beautiful nightmare is all that I can say. My hair is getting pretty long now, and everyone keeps telling me I need a bloody haircut, and I'm like, this is some of the most amount of hair I've had in like years. Having like 2 to 3 months of hair is just crazy to me. Now I do get it, I have to trim it and some other stuff from looking feral, but because my dad used to be my barber, so I was thinking about just having something different done to my hair. Dreads, braids, fucking. Not braids, I don't know about that yet. Not because it's like, I don't know. But that's besides the point. I'm eerily calm right now, but just. I'm trying to take control of my life in the sense of just. Like I said, I'm simple. The only thing I want is someone. Not to own, but just someone that I can coexist with very, very well. Maybe start a family. And just a nice house. Not a nice car, but just a car to call my own, and just. I'll be able to figure the rest of it from there. Like I said, I'm simple. Maybe you are too. And I'm also simple until I'm not. Trying to find a way or just something to sustain and make ends meet, make a living for myself is crazy, you know? And I don't want that to be the end all be all, but just the things in my life that I'm trying to go for and obtain. I've noticed whenever I go looking after it and more, that's whenever it fucks me in the ass, you know? But the moment I stop looking, the moment I stop trying to reach out towards it and be like, hey, come here, it then starts to fall in my lap. And sometimes I'll ignore it. Sometimes I'll just not pay attention or heed to it, even though I am aware that it's there. It's just like, what if I do touch it? I might ruin it, you know? I gotta plug this thing in. I've always wanted to do reviews, just give my own opinions for things, just enjoy life to the fullest, you know? It's easy to look at me and be like, oh, you don't want to work, you don't want to do a multitude of all these other things, and you'd be wrong. I actually do know my own worth, my own value, and I'm trying to work with bloody ads. Trying to work with what you have, especially if you have nothing, and then turning it into something is just. It's a beautiful thing that can put a nice, firm, just smile or anything on your face. I do mind my peace and quiet. Some days I'll be like, hey, let's hang out. Hey, let's enjoy each other's company. This, that, and the third. And then some days I'm just like, or sometimes really, I'm just like, hey, I need some space. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just, I'd really love some alone time, you know? Because the thing is I'm starting to realize that too, that I'll come back to you, and my partner, I was so just overzealous with trying to spend every waking moment and every time with her that it became overstretching or just overbearing and stuff like that. And now I've started to dial it back and be like, hey, I'm gonna be here. Sometimes I won't be, but I'll try. But you already know how these things go. It's just, this is my favorite song. I don't know right now. I really don't know. But the thing is that no, I do know something. Let me share it with you. With my limited time still left here, let me try to just contribute something that will at least help you out. We'll just talk about mainly how to talk to people, how even talking to yourself, or what to ask yourself, how to solve it, just all those other things. A lot of the problems that I've had and I've solved for myself, I'd love to be able to give you that solution, and maybe you can twist and mold it into your own. I've always thought about that, but just I was so scared and afraid that people would look at me in such a light that I would not like, but then I realize there's so many other nasty, absurd, and awful, horrible things I can already say about myself that I don't need anyone else to, unless it's deeply personal, such as something relating to my mom. And I'll just leave it off at that. We're always going to have problems, and it's just when you solve them, you don't have an obligation, you don't have no responsibility, no none of that to just help anyone else out besides yourself, but you'd be surprised at what it could do for you. Maybe it might be positive, maybe it might be negative. But that's the thing with life. You never know until you know. Or really until you just do it. It's cold and etc., but I feel pretty warm right now. Maybe it's because of the blanket, or just for some odd reason I feel like I can actually smile again. I only smiled like this to see if my teeth were yellow. Some shit like that. I always used to think that I had like a blackened, molded, dark ass soul, and it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I flip flop between positive and negative so much. It's like I'm just neutral, but that's all that we really are. We're neutral at the end of the day. We just do whatever we feel like, whatever benefits us, even to the detriment of ourselves or even others. But I do know one thing for certain. As crazy as it sounds, never give up. Never give up. Unless you find something new and exciting that's just there. I'm sorry that I haven't really been around recently to just do these types of things again, and I've had so much mentally and just some other bullshit go through my head that's just fucking with me. I'm like, I need to mellow out. I just need to relax. I just need something. And some people have, either they recognized it or maybe they accidentally recognized it. It's just like, hey, let's just chill. Let's just relax. And I love we're able to do that. Well, Heidi ho, yip yip yo. This is Jay, signing out, to and fro.